Okay, part 12. So from the Jeep trail we start walking straight over the mountains without trail. Walk, walk, walk. We walk. Here we'll see some again, remember, then darker green, so that means denser green, which means the presence of water, the presence of a stream. We follow. As you can see, as you follow the stream down, it will be cutting deeper and deeper into the surrounding mountains. And here you can see that we're actually jumping down inside this valley. You cannot clearly see it because of the shades of the shadow, as the photo was taken when the sun was to the right. So we're getting into the valley, and let me change again, put the north on top. We're getting into the main valley here. Voila, and here it's a little bit not, accurate, but here you can see that we're basically, here we'll have to climb up a little bit. We have to climb up because the river is cutting through a deep cut in the mountains here. We'll not be able to follow the river, so we'll need to climb on the hills and come down. And then again, as you can see, we're almost nicely walking right in 3 dimensions through this valley. It's a very steep valley. Remember, I told you 400 meter left up, 400 meters steep up. Before we start climbing to the next valley, remember, we were going to go in the side valley here, to the end of that side valley where there is a 200 meter fall. After that, come back again, climb over the hill. Click, click. So then we'll get in this open valley. Remember, the isolated valley with all the wildlife. Here we have the split of the river which exits to the right side. So we are following the stream up here. Going up the mountain. Going further up. Here we can see some steep mountains in front of us. Second night. We set up the second night campsite before we reach the top of the hill. So we still are likely to find some drinkable water there. The third day we'll have to fill up the water bottles, go all the way up the mountains, go up. Here we're walking actually open in the mountains, we're crossing another stream. Here there is a hill, so we're just walking around the hill, following that Jeep trail that we saw here. And then eventually we get into another stream here, which will drop down. Food is there, okay. Following the valley. Just a sec. Following the valley, and then finally where the stream exits the mountains, we can see the paddy fields and the village basically, right? So Google Earth is a pretty nice tool, as you can preview the whole thing in 3 dimensions. Save. Let me just pause. Okay, so we can import the trail in maps, put it on other map. We can import the trail in Google Earth. We'll have utilities like I typically use a utility called Easy GPS, which is a freeware tool that will allow me to again import the same GPX file, right, universal format. And from this tool I can actually then connect my GPS to the laptop and send it to this laptop basically. I can load trails from the laptop, save it as GPX, or I can download new GPX files in the laptop. One thing, I forgot about it. One thing that I wanted to show you is so this is basically a trail that has been handmade, right? Now let's take a look at the trail that came from the field. So a trail that was traced by a GPS. So as you kind of navigate through the field with your GPS, you can tell your GPS to record the way and along which you walk. So like every 20 meters it can put a marker. So let me just look at my Garmin directory. I got lots of CTC trails here. On DO2 repeat, I think I didn't take, that was in Bola's GPS. But let me take this DFS1, which is a bit in the neighborhood. So let me take this DFS1 basically. So first of all, what I wanted to show you is again the text format. So if you look at the waypoints coming out of a GPS, you will see that there's more data there. This is what I wanted to show you. It's not only giving you the horizontal position, right, your latitude and your longitude, your exact location on the globe, but it's also giving your altitude. So the GPS, I mean, some GPSs will have a built-in altimeter, so basically a barometer that measures the pressure, and that will allow you to tell the altitude. Although I suspect that the GPS system actually also transmits, I mean, allows you to find actually the altitude based on contact with 4 satellites. Yeah. I believe it does actually, but let's take that offline. So the fourth parameter, in addition to the latitude, say the horizontal, the vertical position, the altitude, it will also show you the time when you were there. So I've marked this point when I was there. So this will be very interesting, but because this will allow me to see later on how basically fast I proceeded between all these points. You see the exact date here and time when I passed through this point actually. So, and the same actually for my tracks. If I go to my tracks, my track points, in addition to latitude, longitude, also have the elevation now and the exact time when I was there. So this will actually allow me to reconstruct this trail not only in space but even in time. I could actually know exactly where the person was at each moment in time. And just to show you, maybe this again in Google Earth, which is like a nice tool. So this you will easily see that this is kind of not a man-made trail, but this is like a machine kind of plotted trail, because it will be like zigzagging all over the place. So this is like our DFS one, like a marathon in a day. That for sure won last year. So let me hide the previous one, sidebar. Let me switch off. V35, yeah. So here, this is very interesting to see this now. Let me zoom in a little more. Voila, interesting, right? So first of all, you can see that this is like a real walkable trail, because it's like going zigzag, zigzag, zigzag as you go down. So you can easily see. So here you can actually see the exact location where we walked. So I guess in this case we didn't walk exactly in the stream, but we walked a little bit to the right of the stream. And very interesting, you can also see that once we get into this major valley, see what happens. As I mentioned in the beginning, right, you're so deep inside like a 400 meter down narrow valley that you're not getting a clear view anymore to minimum like 3 satellites, which will mean that you're losing signal. So here we lost signal, and here we got a little bit of signal. Here you see this kind of zigzag line sometimes. Zigzag line basically means that you don't get an accurate lock, so that it's just trying to make guess there and then connects it. So only here when we come in this open section, where it's more like open towards the clear sky, you're able to get a lock. And here again you see how we then proceeded along the stream. The time should also be there, but I don't know how to. It just gives the name of the trail. It doesn't really allow me to pick out individual points from the track. I probably need another tool for that. So see, same again. Once you finish your trail, you can then export it in GPX format and put it on any given map. We're still in, okay, 10 minutes, okay.